Hi, it's Debbie with D.Ann's Designs. I wanted to bring you the next journal out, and this one is going to be bagged. As you can see, we're in a cotton bag here, and it's been coffee dyed heavily. And we have this little primitive star with a little rusty safety pin on here. And this is the back of the journal, somewhat like this right here. And then you're just going to take your ties and untie. And then as you do, you're going to reveal the little doily here and another little doily on top of that. And then we have a little green button that's been attached onto there also. These have been heavily stitched on, so you should be able to tug and pull on there as much as you'd like. It should stay on. Okay, I'm going to take this journal out. This journal has been, I would have never have dreamt of doing this design had it not been for Natasa with Treasure Books. She taught us how to do this style of journal cover, and I want to tell her thank you, and I hope that I have done it a service as to the way she has described it to be done. She is Natasa, like I said, with Treasure Books, and this was back in November of 2019 when she first brought out this style of journal. This is going to be made up of cereal boxes and embroidery thread. We're going to have tissue paper onto the background, which is just, it was white tissue paper that I pulled out from my Christmas supplies. And then I used watercolors. I'm up here for you. Just like this right here, and created the coloring that I have going on right there. The cereal box is whatever size you want to end up making it. This cover here is about like right there, so I cut it down just a little bit. But then when you fold it over, you're going to glue it over. Okay, so you just kind of cut it the size you want it to be for your journal, and then you can start with your tissue paper and then coloring. The sides of these cereal boxes, that is also folded. You can fold that like so, and then that is what creates my spine in my book. So that's kind of where how that came about, how it's been created. I wanted to be sure that you understood where I came from with it. And like I said, Natasa has a complete episode on how to make it, and it was fantastic. So here we go. This is going to be a black embroidery thread, like I said, that I ran around all around through my edges here in the front and the back. And then the spine, which is your size of your cereal box, is running down through here. I have a single signature in it. And these X's are embroidery thread, which is holding these side, the front and the back, to the spine. And this is how you attach it. Okay, so then your watercolors, when you put your watercolors on there, don't put your cover paper on yet. Just put your watercolors on there first. And then you Mod Podge it. I used a matte. Let's see if I can get this out here for you. I've used a Mod Podge in matte finish there. But when you use this on these watercolors, may I suggest that you use a silicone brush. And the reason I suggest that, and keep a baby wipe handy, is because the paints will move. And with a regular brush, they move all over the place. With the silicone, I was able to get it on there and not have it go nearly as much as I did with a regular brush. And I was able to take the baby wipes and just keep it cleaned off. So as I dipped back into my Mod Podge, I didn't get the Mod Podge dirty. So that's one of my clues to you, and that's how it worked good for me, I suppose. I came back later in, and before I even did any more final seal or anything, I thought that maybe a little inking would be okay. So it's kind of your choice on what you think you may want to do. I kind of liked it just this way, and especially on the back. I want my back to always look so worn because that's kind of where it lays down. So anyway, this is Precious Memories, How They Linger. It's an old chair in the front. It's sitting on an old porch. So we open it up. And our first page, it's going to say, bless this house as we come and go. Bless this house as our children grow. Bless our families as they gather in. Bless this house with love and friends. Open up over here. Got a lot of little indentation type stamping, and then we're going to have a lot of writing room in here. I don't like to leave writing room because I like to leave myself notes, so this is how I do the journals. These are sisters that are sitting out here on an old porch, probably taking a break from their very busy day. It's and then I put a little tag on here, and it says use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. We have a little collage down here, different things, and then we have a little ruffle of paper and a button put on the side of that. Have an old newsprint here. We have ouch. We have some little markings on here, and then like we have a circle here, the Smith family reunion, which might have meant something really big to somebody who has this book. And then we have the children's hats, which are priced. Pricing on those. We have a little tag here made out of vintage wall covering. The house, the willow tree, and the sheep on it. And this is applied to a file folder, cardstock. And it says the best antiques are old friends. And then a little writing area there. So then we have a little doily. We got a rusty safety pin with beads, a little picture, and keep life simple. And then we have the this little thing here, the rusty star. Okay, and that helps me to turn this next page, which is well, it's just a little primitive girl on here, and she's sitting in a chair, got a chicken, got her quilt back behind her here. A little piece of paper I put it on there. This is going to also be, it opens up as such, as you can see. You see you have a writing room in there. I left a piece of paper that said memories on it. That's kind of cute. And then I put, and I love old music, old songs. They had good meaning. But this one here is Jim Reeves, and it says, teach me how to pray. I'll read you a little bit of it. I won't read you the whole thing. It says, one night a sleepy little boy knelt beside my bed. He smiled and looked into my eyes, and this is what he said. Daddy, my daddy, you taught me lots today, so Daddy, my daddy, teach me how to pray. And it goes on from there. The next thing over here on this page is going to be embroidered, and it's God will either lighten your load or strengthen your back. Which is very true. It's going to do one or the other. So I've had that attached to some red ticking that has been copy dyed also. And then we're going to open that up, and we're going to have an old doily. You can see the outside of that old doily has soiled more than the inside has soiled, which would only make sense. And the bottom's the same way on here. Okay, and then we have a little newspaper here. Inside of it, I've tucked another little journal in. It's a little handheld type journal. We've got 3 little strips of paper though to make sure that it stays secure. And I've also attached these little strings that have been dyed. And then we have journal on the top, and we have a little girl, and I think that's a little dog she has there, holding a little rose and a typewriter. And then we have just some journaling pages you can journal in. Okay, so then I have this vintage wall covering again. The old red house, some sheep over there in the background. And I've left this to show, so you can see it was the York Company, and how it was licensed to Pat Fisher. So you know kind of where this old vintage wall covering comes from. We've got a little tag in here on the next page, and a little sheep and a little girl. This says memories down here on the bottom, and a little safety pin and embroidery then. Got a little writing room over here. Got an old quilt. I got it in here. It's got a little tear. It's just so thin. It's very, very old. Went ahead and put its piece into there. Okay, then we have a little saying that says, one who sleeps under a quilt is comforted by love. And I put a little quilted page in here. And then we have this little printed paper, and I've gone ahead and inked that. A little masking tape on there. Do my thing with it. And then we have another old vintage houses here in this vintage wall covering. And then we have some impression inking going on. And then I have this little ribbon here with stars on it also. Lots of writing room. And then we have a little embroidery going on here. Lord, let your love and grace shine upon this place. And then we have an old piece of paper here with, it's been copy dyed, little doily markings. And then we have this little page here. It's been kind of inked up around on. We have a little woolly. He's just a little sheet there that I've stitched around. Did a little embroidery work to honor him a little bit with it. And I said, I asked God, why are you taking me through troubled waters? He replied, because your enemies can't swim. And we have us a little extra sheet of paper in here. Choose thy friends like books, few but choice. We have some sari silk that's been sewn on here. Put back in here, this little holder. And we have a little empty page here. I have a little piece of material that I have embroidered on to hold it onto the page. This is a little advertisement over here. And then this is just a piece of, it's like a wall covering that I printed off and used in here. I just love the colors to it. On the opposite side, I put notes, so you can write your notes over into here. It's a little picture of a little boy sitting on probably somewhere around a 1930s truck, and he's sitting on the little step stools that are over here. It's him and his cat. And then over here we have an old paper, Alabama Counts, is what's written on it, and stamped on. Then we have the little sheep again. This time he uses a little tag. I have a strip of ticking paper and a little piece of oak trim up on here. Ooh. Then we have this little stamped up page here, more writing room, and then we have this page over here, and it says, a kind word is never wasted. We have wool, 1803, a little piece of measuring tape. There we go. Then we have another piece of old material here. This one here is in the garden. Yeah, I think it's this is how I know it is from church. So I don't know, maybe it's a hit on a radio station or something like that too. It's called In the Garden. I came to the garden alone while the dew was still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. It's on down this verse there. One of my favorite songs is In the Garden. And then we have this little page here. It's been stamped on pretty good. Vintage stuff. More writing room. These. The center of the signature. So then we have this. We have a little bunny down there. It's in here too. And we have little instructions on how to cut your pattern out a little bit. And then we have a piece of material, several buttons onto it, and then also red embroidery thread. We have this open page here, just because I just love this paper, so I just left it open. So then we have a little paper bag here, right onto there. Oh, and then on this side here, we have some more embroidery. This is the weeping willow tree, and there is a song about the lay me under the weeping willow tree, but I didn't have that in here. But anyway, there's a little trim. And then we have, excuse me, my voice is always about ready to go about this time of day. Wool for sale, and then we can leave little notes right here. Stamping done. This is the back side of that pretty piece of wool covering. And then we have this little paper here that's the back side for the confirmation suits and dresses. You know, just kind of talks about that. Advertisement. And then we have a simplicity pattern here. And this is another small journal that I just put some papers in for you, and a little tag, which is the sheep, the wool hooker, and then we have a journal, and on the bottom of this, and it's a little holder for your journal and your tag. And then we have an old piece of crochet over here. Oh, goodness, tag in here too. Oh, I see. Okay. And this one here is fold out page. This is a little girl. She seems to be having a little tea party with her bunny and her dolly. You open it up, and you can open this up, and it says, "And we shall have tea with the Queen." This says, "Bless this home with love and laughter, health and happiness forever after." And this one here is just a handmade tag from D.Ann's Designs. Pop that back into there. And then down over here, we're going to have another holder. And it's just going to hold a piece of coffee dyed paper, something extra for you to write on. And then we're going to have, try to get this down, put it back in there again. Then we have the little girl, again with the sheep. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. That's a Proverbs 31:13. I'm going to close that back up, and you can see the little primitive girl, 1776, Sweet Land of Liberty. It's a piece of wire, and I'll just wrap some old threads around it, and we hold it in place with some little star material. Put that on that way. And then we have a little hand puppet, and that's a little bunny hand puppet, something a child would have played with back in the day. And then I just left a little tag for you to see, a little rusty pin, hooking it on there. Turn it over, and then we have this page. Yeah. This is the next page. On it is A Beautiful Life, and that's by Jim Reeves also. Each day I'll do a golden deed by helping those who are in need. My life on earth is but a span, and so I'll do the best I can. Which it goes on. It's very, very pretty too. And we have the vintage wall covering. And we have another little page here. Bless this home with love and laughter, health and happiness forever after. Well, we like to have those blessings in our home. This is another piece of that old quilt. Very, very thin, poor little thing. It's covered many bodies, though, I'm sure. And then we have this stamped on page here. And then there's our sheep. I just love sheep. The Chandler Wool Company since 1872. Some more little sheep. A cute little house. Just the newspaper. Here's our vintage doily again on this side, as you can see. And then we have this little page here. This is the verses to Precious Memories. The precious memories, unseen angels, sent from somewhere to my soul. How they linger, ever near me, and the sacred past unfolds. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. And it goes on from there. And it's a very nice little song. I've always enjoyed it. So I thought I would add it in here. And we have a picture of a little girl. It says on here 10 months old. This is a tag that I've created to put in here also. And then this is just an old piece of rough paper that you can certainly use to write on. Use however you wish. An old piece of Hessian type material. Okay, and then we have The House Where Love Lives. Now this is a tune from Dolly Parton, and it's a squeaky gate, a welcome mat, a big shaggy dog that lives out back, and some might even call it a shack. But this is the house where love lives, and this is truly a nice version in here. So there's the rest of that song there too, and I won't take up all your time. It says here on this one, when things go bad, don't go with them. And that was Elvis Presley. So then we have a little belly band here. Got an old building and people over in there stamping a little bunny on there. And then this is the St. Philmonia Church. It's an old thing, isn't it? Look how tall it is. It's really spectacular. I've stamped you some lines on there. And you can write on that too. There we go. And this is another one, but I put in the verses, "Then sings my soul." In the old church, little crosses up there. And then this is the back of your book, inside area. And this is the back. So, that, my friends, that is the journal. And again, I want to thank Natasa for the instructions of creating that. I probably will be making another one. I think I might do that one online so you can see what I'm doing too. But yeah, anyway, there's my journal. I hope you've enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. It was loads of fun, really. And I hope you like the themed out to it too. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think too. It'd be great. And thanks so much for your time, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.